Hello, friends. Today we are going to be learning. We're going to be reviewing improper fractions and mixed numbers, and then we're going to go in a little bit more in depth on how to show and understand fractions on a number line. So let's jump right into it. We'll start with an improper fraction. So we have 4/3. It's an improper fraction because the numerator, the top number, the 4, is larger than the denominator, the bottom number. And so we want to be able to change this into a mixed number. And the way we do that is we start by drawing holes. We draw one hole like this, and we look at our improper fraction. We see our denominator is 3. That means our whole needs to be divided into 3 parts, into thirds. So do this best I can. So we have 1/3, 2/3, and 3/3, just like that. Now we want to draw 4/3. So what that means is we need another third. So we can just draw like this, the same size as that, and draw 4/3. Or we can draw another hole like this, divide it into thirds, and just not worry about these. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4/3. And so we also, this 3/3 equals one whole. And we have this, which is just that 1/3 of a whole. And so to write that as a mixed number, we write however many holes we have, which in this case is 1, and then we write whatever fraction is left after we write all of our holes. So it's 1 and 1/3, just like that. Okay. Let's try one more. Let's try 6/4, like this. It's another improper fraction because the numerator is larger than the denominator, and we want to make it into a mixed number. And so we start by drawing one hole, and our denominator is 4, so that means this needs to be divided into 4 equal parts, just like that. So we have 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, and 4/4. Again, that equals one whole, but we're not done because we need to get to 6/4. So we draw another one, 4 equal parts again. Then we have 5/4 and 6/4. Again, we don't care about these guys. They're not important for our problem. So we have 6/4, and so we've got our one hole up here. So these are taken care of. And now we just have these down here. We have 2 out of 4 colored in, so that's 2/4. So our mixed number, we look at our hole. We have one hole, and 2/4 of another hole. And that's how we convert improper fractions to mixed numbers. Okay? All right. So let's look at a number line. A number line can be useful for lots of things. Multiplication, addition, subtraction, division, but it can also be useful for fractions. And what's cool about a number line is it helps us see that fractions aren't just pictures. They're not just shapes. They're not just shaded parts. Fractions are actually numbers. And if we look at a number line, it's super easy to tell that. Because let's say we have the number 1/2. Okay? Our numerator is 1, our denominator is 2. And we need to put that on this number line somewhere. And so we look, we have 0, 1, and 2. So let's take a look. What happens if we divide the space between 0 and 1 into 2 equal parts, like we would if it were a rectangle or something like that? So we go like that. And so we have 1 equal part and 2 equal parts. All right? And so this blue line here has a name. It's a number. It's between 0 and 1. It's a number. And so the way we think about this is we think of this like a big rectangle. And if we go like that, how many equal parts do we have? We have 1, 2. So the space from here to here is 1 out of those 2. So that means that this line is 1/2 of the way to 1. And so we've traveled this distance, that's 1/2, 1 out of 2 parts. And we travel the rest of this distance, we have 2 parts out of 2 altogether, which equals 1. Okay? And so we could label this as 1/2. What if we had a line here? What if the distance between 1 and 2 was also divided into parts, and they were 2 equal parts? And so we had the space from here to here was 1/2. Space from here to here was 2/2. And so the space from here to here, if we add another half, is 3/2. Or we could start over right here at 1, so we have 1 whole plus another half, so we can write that as a mixed number as 1 and 1/2. Right, now this looks a little confusing, a little strange, but just think of it just like rectangles. It's no different. Let's try one more. So we've got 0, 1, and 2. And we'll leave it at 0, 1, and 2 for now. So let's do 3/5. Let's say we wanted to make that on here. How many equal parts do we want to divide the space between our numbers into? It's just like a shape. We look at our denominator for that. So we want 5 equal parts. Right now, it's just one big giant part. And so we want 5 of them. So we do 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I know my parts aren't equal. They're not great. So I can fix that later. So we want to label 3/5. And so all we do, we have 0 right here, and we have 1, 2, 3. So this is 3 parts in, and each part is 1/5. So that part is 3/5. The one before it is 2/5. The one before that is 1/5. So the distance from here to here is 1/5 of the way to 1. And so all of this shows us 3/5. Okay? Alright, so we'll go over this more in small group. For right now, there's an interactive or achievement or IA quiz up for you. It's called RRD, Harbert, Mixed Numbers, and Number Lines. Okay? So, good luck. When you're done, please practice on reflex math.